Sorry. Look, I've made it no secret that I really love CyberPunk, and honestly, I'm super blessed that it actually runs and hasn't crashed on me. Hell, it's considered a goddamn miracle at this point. But I also have to understand one thing, and that is that my experience with the game is not what most people out there are experiencing. Fuck you, Frit! You can only enjoy the game because you have a rig that can run it. Our consoles can't run this. Never mind the fact that we told PC gamers we don't care about resolution or frame rate for years. This is what we get? This isn't fair. Okay. Look, don't leave. Don't leave, console guys. Listen, I'm just joking, alright? That's the elitist, humorous side of myself. I'm in agreement with my console peeps and my lower spec PC peeps. This isn't okay and it's not fair. And honestly, I'm disappointed in the PC gaming community because they have not been doing their jobs. Many of them are just downright telling console gamers, just go buy a PC. Duh. What the fuck kind of answer is that? Yeah, nobody expected the game to run well on the last gen consoles, but nobody expected them to be unplayable. Because that is not the type of marketing CD Projekt Red was pushing out. And I want people to understand that. I want people to understand that this company told the consumers they would have a playable experience. And it turns out it's not. I'm seeing way too many people telling console gamers, oh, what did you expect? What did you expect? Did you actually expect this next-gen game to run on last-gen consoles? Well, yeah, they expected it. They were told it was going to run. Their expectations weren't unrealistic. The game was in development for 8 years. Stop talking down to people. This corporation does not need your defense, okay? And it's pretty fucking cringy how so many people are coming out to praise CD Projekt Red for this half-assed apology, which we're gonna go over right now. Dear gamers. First of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered and, in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Wait, stop. Hold on. You called us gamers without putting the Y in the gay? I'm a little insulted. But seriously, what's this? We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Well, that's funny. I was told that console gamers are the ones who get catered and PC gamers are second-class citizens, but I guess they're wrong. Okay, alright. Elitism aside, what do you mean pay more attention to making it play better? Wasn't the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One your initial release? No, there should be no paying attention. There should either be, hey, this console can run it, or it can't. Because you promised people that these games would run on these consoles. I mean, look at this. You described the experience of the PS4 and the Xbox One versions as surprisingly well. Hey, CD Projekt Red, I know these are console gamers. I know that they're okay with 900p 30 FPS because that's what they were expecting with this game. That's what we were all expecting. We weren't expecting this game to look amazing on the base PS4 or Xbox One. Hell, looking back at the demo footage they released, I was not impressed. I thought the game did not really look all that nice. That's why when I booted up on PC, I was blown away with how gorgeous the game actually is. It's a night and day difference, but it's not one that's justifiable. You can't fix this by telling people, hey, we're sorry, we should have paid more attention. Shucks. But we're talking about taking people's hard-earned money. We're talking about taking $60, and the best you can tell them is, we should have paid better attention. That's not an apology, that's a slap in the face. When you tell people you should have paid attention to making it run better on the last-gen consoles, you're essentially telling them that those versions were almost entirely disregarded until the last minute. You were so hell-bent on making this one of the most gorgeous-looking next-gen games out there, and in turn, you screwed over millions of people who gave you $60 for the version that you told them was going to run on the platform they have. You took their money, knowing the state of the game. That is not okay. I hope you realize that. You're not EA, you're not Ubisoft. but you're sure as hell going down that road. But I'm not gonna stop there because you're apologizing for not paying much attention to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions. But what about my fellow PC gamers? If you don't have a 2000 series or a 3000 series card, running this game is a goddamn nightmare. It's an unoptimized mess. And on top of that, it's not polished either. Some of the keyboard controls are questionable and make me wonder where 8 years of development went. You seriously made the dodging controls a double tap on the WASD keys. Do you know how awful of a key binding that is? On top of that, switching to low settings does about nothing, and it doesn't exactly help when the recommended spec sheet you sent out to PC gamers was so full of shit. I mean, look at this. The minimum for 1080p was supposed to be a GTX 780, but the recommended was a 1060, and then for 1440p, a 2060, and Ultra, a 2080s. Yeah, that's funny, very funny. I don't exactly know what build of the game they were running benchmarks on, but the recommended hardware will deliver you about 25 fucking FPS unless you have DLSS. And turning down graphics settings is so fucking useless. Okay, fuck it. Quick PC gaming side rant. You know a game is AAA trash when switching from high to low adds a negligible difference to performance. And it's been happening for some time now. I remember it was long ago that low settings were a godsend and a savior to PC gamers. But nowadays, it seems like there's no fucking difference between low to mid, hell, even high. And now we're reaching the point where ultra settings are a goddamn ripoff. Now, at least the ultra settings in this game reflect in the graphics. But what the fuck is this, CD Projekt Red? You can't even optimize your game so that PC players can adjust the graphics and at least get 60 FPS? And you call yourself a PC gaming developer?
Second, we will fix bugs and crashes, and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released, and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more as we will update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches, starting with patch number 1 in January. This will be followed by patch number 2 in February. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on last-gen consoles. We will be informing you about the contents of each patch ahead of their release. They won't make the game on last-gen look like it's running on a high-spec PC or next-gen console, but it will be closer to that experience than it is now.
Oh, whoop-de-fucking-do, you're doing the bare minimum. People want to praise you because you're gonna patch the game and fix it over time, but that just shows you the current state of the AAA industry, where people find it virtuous that you're gonna patch a game that they bought. Because most developers out there, looking at a specific one, most of them out there love to leave it up to the modders. And the most they consider patching is fixing bugs but never performance. So no, CD Projekt Red, I'm not gonna suck your dick off because you're doing your job. And I don't think other people should too. You had 8 years to get this shit right. 8 fucking years. And you know what? You did the same shit with The Witcher 3, okay? That's something people seem to fucking ignore. Everybody here seems to put CD Projekt Red on some pedestal, alright? I love their games, but at the end of the day, they're just a fucking corporation. And guess what? My reaction to The Witcher 3 is what people's reactions to CyberPunk 2077 were. It was also a buggy, glitchy mess that was downgraded at launch for the consoles. And it did not run well on lower spec machines, so I'm sitting here thinking to myself, wow, you didn't learn from your last project. Just because these games are fucking great does not mean people are gonna sit by idly and accept your anti-consumer bullshit. You hid the console footage. You put an embargo on it. And even then, when people play the PC version, the bugs and the level of unpolished NPCs and traffic and broken quest lines were so fucking glaring. Oh, but not CD Projekt Red. Nobody could ever think CD Projekt Red would turn on them. Yeah, well, always remember The Witcher 3 launch. The Witcher 3 deserves every fucking award in the book, but we're just gonna forget that CD Projekt Red also had an abysmal launch there. No, don't let them get away with this shit. The perspective you're giving consumers right now is that you will always be a buggy, glitchy developer that fixes things over time and takes the money right away.
Finally, we would always like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate
appreciate it if you would give us a chance. But if you are not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. For copies purchased digitally, please use the refund system of PSN, Xbox, respectively.
Yeah, just some fucking bullshit to let people know they can refund the game. You know, another thing that people are expecting. So you came out and people are sucking your dick off, CD Projekt Red, like you did something so noble, so virtuous. No, you did the bare minimum. You went back and you tried to fix a product that people already paid money for. People are looking at this as if it's some kind of fucking apology. This reads out to me no different than when Nvidia or Intel post out a public apology. I don't give a shit, and it holds about as much value as DSP keeping a promise. You're not a fucking person. I don't know why people take your word as if you're one single entity, one person speaking out to them. No, these are hundreds of people in suits working to put together one of the most believable apologies they can. And all they told you is, hey, we're going to do our jobs. But can we take some time to actually feel sorry for the developers? Could you imagine being one of the developers that worked on this project and having your name on it in its current state because the higher ups told you need to release that now, after years of having to work around crunch hours and harassment, and then receiving death threats from crazy CD Projekt Red fanboys who probably clean off their jizz on a sock after jerking off to a picture of a low polygon Siri. But you know what, to the CD Projekt Red fanboys that are watching right now, hey, thanks for stopping by, thanks for dropping that dislike for the algorithm. Now I'm here to remind you that CD Projekt Red themselves said that they aim to launch CyberPunk 2077 as polished as Red Dead Redemption 2. They also told you that the game was running fine on the consoles, but then they also told you earlier in the fucking year that they're delaying the game because it's not running good on consoles, and then they followed it by putting an embargo for that footage, and then they followed it by telling reviewers they could only use B-roll footage and not the footage they captured. On top of that, AMD CPU owners are seeing less performance than their Intel counterparts. Oh, but that possibly couldn't coincide with CD Projekt Red's partnership with Nvidia and how Nvidia loves to stick their snotty nose in every single game out there just to incorporate their stupid effects and have games optimized for their GPUs more. Look at that. CD Projekt Red and Nvidia laughing their way to the bank because now people have to buy new GPUs. You wanted to bust the bank to get Keanu Reeves out, send multiple reviewers and cringy ass tech channels your dumbass yellow themed gaming chairs. Mind you, I don't know why you want to sell people such a comfy chair when they're not even going to sit down for more than 15 minutes to play this, because it just doesn't work on their platform. It's clear to me CD Projekt Red went down the same route the rest of the AAA industry goes down once they get any sort of praise for anything they put out. It gets to their head, and they want their next project to immediately surpass that one in sales and popularity. So what they do, they spend all their fucking money on marketing hype and less in development by the looks of it. The traffic AI in this game is so fucking outdated, it's laughable in comparison to Grand Theft Auto 4. Hell, even the NPCs are less interactive. Car physics don't even compare. You know, but that's the one thing I can give this game an excuse for, because CD Projekt Red makes RPGs before they make sandboxes, which I at least admire, because let's face it, the only reason Rockstar ever puts that much attention to detail in their games is because they know you're gonna spend most of your time fucking with the physics because there's not much of a game there. But if you're going to sell your game on immersion, then your goddamn sandbox needs to work and function as intended and be believable. But as it is now, 8 years of development only ever got them past the storytelling. What's left here is an unfinished game that does not deserve the $60 it is asking for. And as much as I love it on the PC, I cannot recommend people go and build a goddamn PC just to play it, just as much as I wouldn't recommend them going to buy a next-gen console for one game. Time will fix the game, but it's never going to fix people's perception of CD Projekt Red.